Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here again, and a belated Happy Canada Day to everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful long weekend celebrating it with friends and family. For those of you who've been watching the show, you'll find that today's is a little bit different. Rather than interviewing a single guest on a specific topic, today I'm going to share with you a few interviews I recorded over the long weekend, speaking to regular Canadians, where I asked them what Canada Day means to them. Where do they see this country today? Do they feel that this country is more divided today than ever before? What do they think of Canada's future? Are they optimistic or pessimistic about Canada's future? And finally, their take on the Freedom Convoy protests that rocked the nation's capital this past winter. Despite the Trudeau government shifting the official celebrations to Le Breton Flats, many people showed up to celebrate the country, and some came here to protest peacefully. As you'll see, the people that I spoke to are of different backgrounds, ages, and ethnicities, but what united everybody, and this is very important, was a love of Canada and a desire that somehow as a country we move forward and heal our recent divisions. Meet Kim and her daughter, Victoria from Ottawa. They're troubled by the rifts in Canadian society, and they're very clear where the blame lies. They blame the divisive policies of the Justin Trudeau government. Do take a listen.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm in Ottawa, Canada.
I'm Victoria, and I'm in Ottawa, Canada as well.
And we came downtown to celebrate Canada Day this year. We haven't been coming for the past few years because of the pandemic and all the other stuff that's happened. And we're actually worried about Canada.
It's become very divided, and Canada used to see it as more of a nation, and now it's divided into so many different beliefs. And of course, that's okay, but it's sad to see how downhill it's gone.
Yeah. So what do you, why do you think it's divided? Like, what's going on here?
I think it's Trudeau. And I'm sorry, I just have issues with him. I feel like he's let our country down so much. And I mean, even this child here, she used to do the me to we all the time. And then we found out it was a scandal again, Trudeau. And we just lost all faith in him. And we think he's a liar and a cheat. And he only cares about himself.
Next up is Ryan from Ottawa. As you'll see, he's sympathetic to the goals of the Freedom Convoy to increase freedoms, but he wasn't exactly thrilled by their methods. It's worth acknowledging that there might be quite a number of people like Ryan out there who agree with the convoy's message, but had some issues at the way the message was delivered. This is what he had to say.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm from Ottawa, Canada, and Happy Canada Day. And Canada Day for me means inclusivity, freedom, and just being yourself with all the different cultures that we have here in Canada.
Do you think Canada today is moving away from those ideals of freedom and...
I don't think so, no. I think our country is definitely going through a little bit of a rocky patch. I think every country is, especially during COVID, but I think we still have a united front.
Where do you see Canada going forward?
Hopefully we keep the inclusivity that we have, we keep all the cultures that we have,
Yeah.
We keep inviting, and we're a welcoming country, and hopefully we keep going down that same path.
What do you think of the protesters who are here protesting? They're protesting for freedom. They say they're standing up for freedom and individual liberties. They've been denigrated by people, by their critics. Where do you stand on that?
I think the message was good, but the execution I think could have been a little bit better. I think it got a little bit out of hand here in Ottawa.
Okay.
But I think the message of what they're trying to achieve is good.
Yeah.
But I think their execution was a little bit poor.
So they shouldn't have been here as long as they were.
Yeah, and I think they shouldn't have been as rowdy. I think they should have been a little bit more respectful of the people who live here in Centerville. So.
Okay. Meet Odelia, who came to Canada to escape persecution in Guatemala. She's dismayed at the recent crackdown on freedoms by the Trudeau government, to the point that she's actually afraid of being seen carrying the national flag. This is what Odelia had to say. Take a listen.
I came with my brother back in 1985. We refugees from Guatemala. My name is Odelia, and beautiful country. We felt very welcoming. We came because of persecution back there. They were persecuting my brother just because he was defending someone that was being attacked by soldiers. And he didn't know they were soldiers of duty. And he was 16. And they persecuted him for 2 years. And, you know, we ended up here through a priest. We ended up in Canada. And we saw the big, huge difference that everybody can be anything that they want, you know. We are from different races, different cultures, different beliefs, and everybody got along. All of a sudden, these past 2 years have been very difficult. I tell you something today. Since a week ago, I have flags in my car at the back. I have 2. When we came this morning here after Mass, my husband removed them. I didn't like that. I told him, why are you removing them? He said, because, you know, we have here people that police stop them and ask them why. So it's Canada Day. I love Canada.
Yeah.
I have flags in my home. I have 5 flags around my house. So I want to see. So
you're afraid of displaying the flag because of what people might say?
Yeah, the fear for the police to come here, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of police around.
Yeah.
So you see, we didn't feel that before.
So what do you think has changed in the last 2 years since you've been in the country? How long have you been in the country?
36 years.
36 years, yeah. And what do you think has changed? Like what
I
are you
never
seeing?
saw people attacking, police attacking people that were protesting. I didn't see that. I haven't been in big, you know, protesting in Toronto anywhere. I was told that Toronto was really bad 3 years ago.
Right.
You know, but I was here praying with one of my girls in the back. As far as I could go was Albert and Metcalf. The day that they were removing the trucks and everything, and we could hear, you know, we were praying. As it was freezing that late afternoon, and we could hear, you know, the screaming of people. They put pepper spray in the eyes of people. They even attack reporters. That's another thing. Reporters, you know, in Mexico and other places are killed. Reporters have been killed. A lot of reporters just because they go and, you know, when was that the media was attacked? Before that didn't happen. That's another big change. Because, for example, people from the Rebel News, they are being attacked and they were told, oh, you don't, you know, we are not giving you the license because we don't recognize you. Why? See, so those freedoms, I don't like that. We were even thinking to, you know, it crossed our minds to move away. And then I thought,
where would you go if you were to make that decision?
To the states where we're thinking.
Okay.
You know, Texas or Florida, where we can be ourselves. You know, where we can.
You think the U.S. is more free than Canada in some ways?
No, not all over the states. Some states like Texas and Florida.
Yeah.
However, then, you know, we are believers. We believe in God. So we thought, you know what? We're not going anywhere.
Right.
This is our home. This is our home. My brother, the same thing. My brother lives just 2 blocks away. And he also witnessed much more than us because he lives here. He lives downtown. And he saw a lot of police attacking. Before they removed the truckers, the police were just, you know, just because someone was holding a sign or was holding a little flag or was here, you know. So my brother, you know what? My brother told me he couldn't sleep. And he said, Odilia, I am relieving the persecution I have there. You know, he was very upset. He lived just a few blocks away. Okay. So and wasn't the only person. Other people I talked to from the community too. They say, what is this? People from the community, we are moving. Some people not from the community have already moved to Mexico and other places and the States. I am not going anywhere. This is my home.
So you're going to stay here and fight for
no
your freedom?
Fight. I'm not going to my fight. The way I fight is by praying.
Okay.
I pray with my family.
Yeah. No, what I mean is you're here for the good fight, as in you're going to...
Yes. Yeah, and I pray for Mr. Trudeau, and I pray for his cabinet, and I pray for all the members of the parliament, you know, for the conversion of all of them, and Jim Watson, and Christian Freeland, all of them, and Doug Ford. Yeah, I pray for all of them, the conversion, because really, you know, this is not the country I came 36 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, why was he afraid, or why he removed my flags from the car now that we just came? We just came for, you know, to see Brian because we hear that he was attacked yesterday too. He's not doing anything, as you can see.
How does it make you feel to see everything fenced off?
Remind me of where I was born.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know another thing, where I was born in Guatemala. When you saw cars with the tinted windows, you knew they were those for the police that killed. the police that capture the kids. We have many of our friends from high school and college. They were taken, and we never saw their faces again.
Yeah.
Many. That was the persecution in Guatemala, 70s, 80s, you know. That's when we left Guatemala.
Okay.
And we came here thinking that it was freedom. But now, look, there is no respect. Why should I be afraid of walking? Listen, we come to pray the rosary on Saturdays with a group of church, and many people from the church, not from my community, from English faith community, they don't want to come because the people also, we are at the back, and they are people like Brian, like supporters, they are there, and they don't want to be seen close to the group because police are going to think that they are associated with the group.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to come. They're afraid. I didn't see this before, and I said to my husband, you know what? We are going to go and pray. We are here, and we come and pray, and we are very few.
Okay.
So this fear wasn't here before. I don't like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is Robert. Robert is a resident of Ottawa. He lives in Centertown. Remember that during the protests, we were told by large sections of the mainstream media that residents of Centertown, that everybody there was up in arms over the Freedom Convoy because their lives had been disrupted. Robert has a very, very different take on what he witnessed during the protests as a resident of Centertown. He believes that the mainstream media completely misrepresented what happened here as a resident of Centertown, and he was a local resident. He was not part of the protests, and this is what he had to say.
My name's Robert. I live here in Ottawa, in Centertown here in Ottawa. And what does Canada Day mean to me? Well, it's a day of celebration, of course, for all Canadians from all walks of life. And to me, Canada Day also represents democratic, the idea of democracy. I think we're a very lucky country throughout the world still, despite all the issues that we may or may not have. I feel that Canada is not necessarily going the right way. It is divided. The pandemic certainly made it more so than ever before. I feel that there's a lot of people leading on the left, some on the extreme right. Today's government is not helping matters. I feel that when it comes to the pandemic response and the lockdowns and all the constraints of the pandemic, that it almost forced a lot of people to do what they didn't necessarily want to do, which was forceful vaccinations just to continue to be free. I'm glad that it's almost coming to an end, quite frankly. And I hope that for the future things will get better and people will be understanding of each other.
So you're a resident of Centertown.
Yes.
And I live in the market. So you were here when the convoy descended upon the Capitol, and I know many Centertown residents were, affected. They felt that their lives had been disrupted because of the trucks and the honking.
Right.
What was your personal experience?
Well, we live at Line and Laurier, so the trucks, we didn't hear a lot of honking, so it didn't really affect us so much, and then after that there was the bylaw where they had to stop the honking. So I can sympathize to those, especially on Kent Street in the residential area, where they would have suffered the incessant honking at the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
but
that first weekend for sure.
I'm sorry?
That first weekend for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I
So
heard
can
it
sympathize
on the
with
market
those.
as well.
However, I also feel that it was not properly represented, certainly not in mainstream media.
Yeah.
We walked up and down every day, almost every day we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So some, there were some good things that happened there too. The city was never cleaner. Most of the people that we met were peaceful protesters that were here for their cause.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a lot of good. They had free food everywhere for anybody. I saw homeless people. I saw I saw what appeared to be a lot of minority people come and enjoy that. There was what I call the market where they're giving away winter clothing, books, whatever it is. So I think a lot of good came out of it that didn't get reported. So certainly, that's another thing that was very.
So this is from your perspective as someone who is not part of the protest movement, but you're a resident of Centertown,
right?
And this is what you felt that
Right.
They were not represented well, fairly,
Right.
to be more precise, they were portrayed as white supremacists, racists, mercenaries, even, and
maybe. When I guess there's a fringe element that will latch on to all this, but for the most part, like I said, we were here almost every day, every night, in minus 20 weather, and for the mass majority, the actual truckers and the actual Freedom Convoy, I thought was respectful for the most part. So I think it was just a fringe element that latched onto it. And I don't think it got a fair shake whatsoever.
Okay.
So that's my opinion on that.
Okay.
So,
And where do you see Canada going? Because a lot of people tell me that they feel that they feel the divisions are really starting to have an impact, and that they've never seen this country this way, and it's changed quite a bit.
I think right now, I look at a lot of the issues, especially with the current government. Now you have what's come out with Nova Scotia shootings, and I think it's getting highly politicized, quite frankly, and I don't think I think that governments in general, they work to get reelected, and I think they're getting further away from actually representing the best interests of the average citizen. That's what I feel. So I think as soon as especially in a minority government, now with the NDP propping them up, but in a minority government, they just throw everything at everybody, and then we have the national debt, inflation, affordability, and nobody. For example, one of the main solutions seems to be the $10 daycare. Okay, what about those that don't have children? What about the seniors? What about the elderly? How does that impact those people? So I think that there needs to be some kind of a redress, rethink about how governments function, and hopefully people start following it more, and because I find a lot of people might not be as informed as perhaps they should be. That's my feeling.
Next up are Kalina and her friend from Toronto. They're both disturbed at the direction Canada is heading, and found the freedom protests from this past winter to be entirely peaceful, and they feel that it reinvigorated the spirit of freedom in Canada.
Hi, I'm Kalina from Toronto, and I'm so excited to be here in Ottawa, our nation's capital. I'm a proud Canadian citizen. I really believe in what the ideals of this country are founded for, and I'm so grateful that this country gave a place for my grandparents to come. They fled war, poverty, oppression in Ukraine, and they came to this country and they worked so hard, and my parents had a prosperous life here. They taught us all the things that Canada meant, and that's freedom. And so that's so important now here in 2022. I really believe now it's time for Canadians who believe in the Canada that we were told existed to really fight for that. And that's really how I feel about that. So I'm here to celebrate, and I think we're all Canadians, whether you're on this wing or that wing or this ideology or whatever. The thing is that we are all united under this symbol. So,
Well, what does the flag mean to you?
you want to respond to that?
It's the symbol of Canada, really.
Yeah.
It's some colors. and
For some, it's
we use
become
to
a
identify,
for some it's become a symbol of oppression, symbol of hate. Even some would argue that the flag has been hijacked by the Freedom Convoy protesters, and we must take the flag back from them.
But those people are forgetting that we are one people, and we need to start treating each other with respect and dignity.
Yeah.
When our politicians can't answer a direct question,
Okay.
instead we just say other things like they need to be out of here. You know, they're not. The logic has disconnected.
Yeah.
And so that's why that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I'm here.
Okay.
To show my just like defiance of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Were
We
you?
come together as a people, we make a change, right?
Yeah.
So,
Were you supporters of the convoy, or were you kind of on the fence, or you were agnostic about the whole thing, and then did that whole event change your mind?
It didn't change my mind.
Yeah.
But it definitely gave us like we were already believing that since
Okay.
the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
And you know, I don't want that.
Yeah.
These people don't get to dictate what I put in my body, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
I don't drink milk.
Yeah.
These are all things I don't do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do
Yeah.
anything else that they tell me just because they tell me, right?
Yeah. Do you find that we're more divided now than ever before?
Than
Yeah.
ever before.
Yeah.
Ever in my whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well.
terrible.
Okay. Well, I.
That's great.
Yeah.
I did want to say my impression of like what happened in the convoy. It just gave such a swell of positive energy. I felt like it just invigorated a lot of us who have been just working and trying to just live the awakened lifestyle, and it was just great to see how peaceful the movement was. So peaceful. It was a community that popped up. Everybody wanted something to eat, got it. Whatever you needed was provided.
The energy here was the right way. I've never felt that anywhere.
Well, I hope you enjoyed these conversations. And again, despite their different points of view, what seemed to unite everybody across the board, everyone I spoke to, was their love of Canada and their hope that things would get better moving forward. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.